Hello everyone, welcome to another question and answer session. During a liver resection, a surgeon performs a Pringles maneuver to control bleeding. Which of the following structure will lie posterior to the epiploic foramen at this level? So after reading, we have to find out the key points or main points from here. During liver resection, surgeon performs a Pringle maneuver to control bleeding. Which of the following structure lies most posterior to the epiploic foramen of this level? So Pringle maneuver, it is done by the finger to compress the blood vessel to reduce the blood flow to the liver and at the points of the epiploic foramen. So for answering the question which lies most posterior of the epiploic foramen, we have to know about the details boundary of the epiploic foramen. So and then it will be easy for us to find out the posterior boundary of the epiploic foramen. So here are the options. The options are hepatic artery, cystic duct, greater omentum, superior mesenteric artery, and inferior vena cava. So let's see the picture. So here we can see this is the epiploic foramen. It is one of the functional diagram of the epiploic foramen, and we can see above the epiploic foramen that is boundary by the caudate process of the liver, and we can see the inferior part, it is by the first part of the duodenum. So superiorly caudate process of the liver, inferiorly first part of the duodenum. So superior and inferior boundary, it is bounded by viscera. You can see our organ such as the upper part, it is caudate process of liver or caudate lobe of the liver, and inferiorly and it is the first part of the duodenum, both are the viscera. On the other hand, anterior and posterior boundary, we can see anteriorly it is bounded by the pre-margin of the larger omentum, and it contains vessels such as hepatic artery, bile duct, and portal vein. So here hepatic artery, bile duct, and portal vein, they are lies anteriorly, and posteriorly it is bounded by the inferior vena cava. So anterior and posterior boundary, it is bounded by the vessels and duct. So superior and inferior by viscera, anterior posterior by the vessels, superior by the caudate process of the liver, inferior by the first part of the duodenum, anteriorly free margin of the larger omentum, and it contains vessels and ducts such as the hepatic artery, portal vein, and bile duct, and posteriorly inferior vena cava. So anterior posterior boundary, it is by the vessels and duct, superior inferior by the viscera. So here we can see in this picture, this is the Pringle maneuver through the epiploic foramen, finger introduced and pressed to control bleeding. So here the posterior boundary, we know the posterior boundary, anterior and posterior boundary bounded by the vessels and duct, and the posterior boundary by the inferior vena cava. Other option here such as the hepatic artery, forms the anterior boundary, cystic duct, it forms the anterior boundary, greater omentum is not related with this epiploic foramen, and superior mesenteric artery, it also not related to the epiploic foramen. So our final answer, the inferior vena cava forms the posterior wall or posterior boundary of the epiploic foramen.